So I just got this text message from my farm sitter this morning, and I don't know if you can see this in the picture. See that little critter right behind Amanda Hug and Kiss? Yes, Amanda Hug and Kiss just had a baby. And meanwhile, right now, I'm actually in Los Angeles. I've been out here for the last couple of days. I was at VidCon, and now I'm at the gate at the airport, and I'm about to fly back. And I really hope I get back in time to make sure everything's okay. Oh, look who's here. Good to see you guys. I missed you so much. Morning, Lady Abington. It's good to see you. Good morning, Mr. Toby Dog. It's good to see you. Abby, okay. I know, you love the attention. Wow. I've only been gone a couple of days, but it feels like everything has grown like tenfold. But yes, it is so good to be back here on the farm. And while it's always interesting to leave the farm, I got to admit, every time I do leave, usually like a couple days in, I'm like dying to get back because I miss everything and I miss my routines and I miss the farm life. Would you guys look at the insane growth of my catnip? Whoa. And while I could spend hours dawdling down here and just looking at all the changes, we've got a job we've got to tackle first thing here. Good morning, crew to moo. How's everybody doing? How's it going, Astrid? Good to see you, Betty White. Hey, Amelia. Hey, Amelia's calf that I still have to come up with a name for. Hey, Annabelle. Hey, Betty Rubble. Good morning, Ariel, and good morning, Belle. Really good to see all of you. I missed you guys. Hey, Amanda. How's it going? Where's your calf? I heard you had a little new one. I'm not gonna panic, but her calf should be here somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. I can't find your calf, Amanda. I'm confused. Did you actually have a baby? I gotta admit it, I'm sort of stumped. I did a little quick ride around the pasture looking for the calf and I'm not seeing it. Hey, Boss Cow, do you know where the newest calf in your herd is? Looks like Macho Man's putting in the work. I think Bonnie McMurray's in heat. And so Macho Man is paying some particular attention there. There's children's present. I can't believe it. Oh gosh, the antics of Macho Man and the heifers could be a little bit much, making this not as family friendly as a YouTube channel as I usually try to make it. Oh well, for now we're gonna move the shade mobile. Out of the way, herd. This thing's gotta move. So since I was gone for a couple of days, I actually had the cattle in a larger than usual paddock, just so that my farm sitter wouldn't have to do the paddock moves like I usually do. But now that means I gotta bring the happy cow mobile a little bit further, which is why it's really nice that I have the option of either pulling it by hand for little moves or for longer moves like this, I can just drag it with the ATV. I'm realizing more and more that there's a lot of value in that flexibility. Then just disconnect and we now have this in fresh pasture for the cattle. Okay, I've now done several laps around the pasture and I have not had any luck seeing any sign of this calf. So I actually think what I'm going to do is take to the air and see if I can get a better view of things. Let's see if we see anything here. I am not seeing anything from the air and I am very, very confused. Do you know what to make of this, Ginny? No? Yeah. I don't even remotely know what to make of this, but I've officially crossed from that point of just sort of wondering where the calf is to being a little bit scared. This isn't normal. I've been looking for an hour now, or him. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl even. Like I'm even checking to see if it wandered over the other side of the fence. I am not seeing anything. Amanda, where's your little one? I heard you had a calf. Do you know where it is? I'm not seeing it. Was that you calling for it? Toby Dog loves the fresh water. That's what he's slurping away right there. Well, 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 if it isn't my pal Bean the Duck. How's it going, Beanie? How are you doing? Hey, Jerk Duck. How are you doing? Still sitting on that nest, huh? Well, it doesn't look like anything's hatched just yet. That's okay. You keep doing your thing. I was actually thinking that she was gonna hatch those eggs pretty much right the moment I left, but it seems like she's still got several eggs that look pretty viable, so I don't know, we'll just give her some more time. But that's not to say that we don't have new ducklings here on the farm, which I'll talk to you guys about in a minute. Ugh. Gotta admit, definitely feel like I miss doing chores after not doing it for a couple days. There's something about the ritual and the process of having very specific things that you do in a specific way every single day. I don't know, it's very rewarding, but it also makes me feel like I have purpose in my day. And when I have days where I'm not doing farm chores, I don't know, I feel like all out of sorts. And so, I don't know, I guess that's just me saying it's good to be back. How's it going there, gooses? Hey there, ducks. So yes, while I was gone, my farm sitter told me that we actually had a duckling hatch, but it was like only one duckling, and it actually came from one of my younger moms. So you can actually see that, I think she's like a khaki Campbell Cayuga cross running between the geese back there. This one. I'm pretty sure she was the one who hatched it out. But she only hatched one out, and so I didn't want to have to try to like set up a nursery for just one duckling, and so I ended up finding that duckling a new home. All right, hungry birds, I'm gonna feed you. Hang on. All right, let's check and see how our heifers are doing, huh? Right before I went away, I actually moved them right into this area, and they seem like they're doing a nice job with it. Let's clean out their water trough. We'll hook them up with some fresh water here. Now let's see if we can find them. Dogs, do you know where the heifers are, huh? So the other day I asked my wife, who works in medicine, if dogs can operate MRI machines. And she looked at me and said, no, but cats can. Yeah. I'll show myself out. You're hiding over on this side, huh? How's it going? Good to see you, Alice. Hey, baby B. I think you're a big sister. I can't find your new little sibling, but so the cow that I think had a calf, that's actually her calf from last year. Her name is Beatrix Potter. She's a very sweet girl. Since she was the only baby we had last year, she got a lot of attention from me, and as a result, she's extremely well trained. How are my chickens, huh? Come on. Let's go, chickens. Let's feed you. Now that I'm back from my trip, I'm also going to start the process of hatching eggs, specifically chicken eggs. So that should be something that happens very soon and should be pretty exciting. So rather than being used for eating, these eggs are going to end up in the incubator. So you know how I said I had to find a new home for that little duckling? Well, this right here is actually that new home. So we've had Deb in here with her chicks. Yeah, the new little duckling. You can see it in the back there. I decided to put it in here with everybody else. And so far, they're all getting along really, really well. So I don't know if Deb is really pleased that she has to deal with this little duckling as one of her babies, but she seems like she's taken to it okay. You'll also notice that I can start to tell which of the birds are going to be roosters and which are going to be hens. So you see that one on the end there, that's going to be a rooster. I'm pretty certain of that. The other ones, though, are looking like they're going to end up being hens, I think, for the most part. Let's see if we can get a better look. Rise and grind, Deb's kids. All right, so here we have Deb. This is the one that looks like a rooster. This one over here also seems like it could be a rooster. I'm pretty sure it's a rooster. Deb's blocking it, so you can't really get a good look. No, I actually think this one's a rooster too. So it looks like I have 2 hens and 3 roosters, if I had to guess. Okay, that looks like the split. So the hens will end up just going into our laying flock, and the roosters will end up going into our bellies. And as for our little duckling, let's take a better look at it, huh? You can see it's a nice little duckling. It looks like it's mostly khaki Campbell. It actually looks smaller than a normal khaki Campbell duckling. So I'm actually wondering if this might not be one of the offspring of Ralph the call duck. So you guys will recall Ralph is this tiny little duck that we adopted. Call ducks are a breed of duck that are smaller than your usual ducks, and I've definitely seen Ralphie mating, so I don't know, it's possible that this one is the product of the offspring. And actually that low fertility rate could also be partially his responsibility, so we'll have to see how this little one grows up. What'll basically happen is I'll keep this one aside from the rest of the duck flock for, I don't know, probably 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, and then I'll eventually release it out with all the other ducks and it'll rejoin its flock. But until then, I think it's going to be growing up with Deb's kids unless I have other ducklings hatch anytime soon. Ginny, leave this alone. Leave it alone. Do not attack this, Ginny. No. You got to be really careful with these baby birds and barn cats.
You know, it's been nearly 7 years since I actually lived in a real major city. And anytime I ever go back to a city, I always feel like I'm Rip Van Winkle, just sort of waking up and experiencing a whole bunch of change all at once. And I gotta say, one of the biggest changes I saw while I was in LA was the fact that there are now delivery robots wandering the streets of Hollywood. Like, I even got to see one in action motion while I was walking around, and it's crazy and it's surreal to watch these things move around. And I even tried to put a camera on it, and it kind of made the cart go crazy, and it crashed into a wall.
Oh man, you killed my camera, bro. So earlier this morning, I was looking at Amanda Hugginkiss, who was the mother of that calf. I was starting to notice that she wasn't exactly looking like a cow who had just given birth. She didn't seem like she was any smaller than the last time I saw her, and her udder hadn't filled up with milk, which is actually the very thing that you expect to see when you have a calf be born. You want to see that mom with milk. That would suggest that everything's gone well with the delivery and that the baby's drinking. And I noticed that Amanda did not have any milk, which had me kind of wondering something different. So I called my farm sitter to say, hey, just a quick question for you. How many calves did you see here on the farm yesterday morning? And she said 4, which is exactly the number I had before I left, because you'll remember that Amelia Bedelia had her calf. It was the day before I left to go on my trip. And so what had happened is the calf had been hiding the first day that my farm sitter was here. Then the next day it had been raining, and so it looked like that you know, couple day old calf had just been born, because she was all wet and she was still a little bit wobbly, and you know, still a couple day old calf can look like a newborn calf more or less. And so what I thought was a panic inducing disappearance of a newborn calf turned out to be just a miscounting on my part, and a good lesson that anytime you ever leave your farm, you should always give your farm sitter a good healthy head count. And so I will definitely do that next time. But I feel like such a dummy. I was like, oh wait, no, that makes perfect sense. And actually, if I go back and look at the picture that she sent me, I remember looking at it being like, wow, that calf looks awfully big to be newborn. And then realizing as I saw it now that no, that was actually just Betty Rubble was the calf I was seeing in that picture. So there you have it, no new calf. And as far as Amanda Hugginkiss goes, I'm not even sure if she's gonna have a calf. I'm not exactly sure if she's pregnant, and she skipped out on my preg check when I tried to do it with my vet. And so my theory was that she wasn't pregnant, but I don't know, we'll see. If she is, it'd still happen later this summer, because when she gave birth to baby B last year. There you have it. And it's really good to be back here on the farm. Thanks for watching, everybody.